Well, hello there, chappies and chapetties and all that jazz. How are you all? Welcome to my video review of Remnant from the Ashes, sequel to Chronos Before the Ashes. Now we're going to talk about this one. This is the game I played first in the entire series, so we'll get into it right now. Right, so what is Remnant from the Ashes? It is a third-person action-adventure, Souls-like, but with guns. There is melee, you do all the dodging, you've got your stamina bars, you've got your checkpoints that act like bonfires, and you can upgrade all your stuff, and I recommend you do. The only thing you don't get is souls, so when you die, the only thing you lose is progress, which I personally really like. So it's not really that hard of a Souls game. It still is hard, don't get me wrong. It's got bosses in it that were making me want to punch my television to fucking pieces, okay? But they were few and far between. Apparently how the bosses work is they're randomised. Towards the end of World 1, I fought an Ent, but I was speaking to somebody that said they fought a dragon. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Wonder if it's tied to difficulty, which there are difficulty levels, thank God. I played it in normal. Struggled a bit with some of the bosses, but I say most of them weren't really that bad. Couple, though. But you might not get them, so I don't know. Levels are quite small, which is just fine. It's about a 20-hour game, 25, 30, somewhere in that mumble of jumble. But it's the way it starts is you pick your character, you pick one of the three classes. Don't ask me what the three of them are. I went the Hunter, I think. I can't remember what the other two are. Doesn't matter. You'll pick them when you see them if you play the game, right? You go a man or a woman. Another sort of faceless creature, entity, traveller, rogue player, jobby, soul collector, wanting to get to an island via a wee boat, and it's like, you can't go there, mate, because of these routes, mate, right? The routes are, they're a big mess. There's these guys called Dreamers, and they connected to the route and made the route powerful, and the route are like tree monsters, basically. I actually love the design of the enemies in this game are fan-fucking-tastic. Love it. As for weaponry and things like that, I only had a bolt-action rifle. I did buy about 300 guns, but I only really found a couple that worked for me. There's a bolt-action rifle, you get shotguns, you get particle accelerators, you get all kinds of weird things, melee guns, very good. Melee weapons, you'll get like axes and swords, and a flail. I found a flail that was shaped like a big skull in one of the dungeons, which is quite nice. And I like the way the game starts. Starting area. Areas are quite varied. I think they're quite nice. The dungeons in each area aren't very good beyond the initial dungeon you find, because when you find one dungeon, they all pretty much look the same, and there's only like 3 or 4 per level. I think there's only 2 in the first level, and the first area is like a destroyed city. It's very Last of Us, very Fallout. I absolutely love that feeling of a destroyed. I'm just weird. I love destroyed worlds for some reason. That's cozy to me. Your cozy game, Stardew Valley. Mine is killing zombies, clickers, and tree monsters in a desolate cityscape. That is just Pierre de Resistance, motherfucker. I love that shit. I can't get enough of it. So, it's like other areas you'll find, there's like swampland, and there's like an ethereal jungle where these the Pan's Labyrinth, is it a satyr? Satyrs live and they attack you, and it's like, for fuck's sake. There's also a heavy sci-fi element. So this is sci-fantasy, which is quite nice. I quite like that. I like the mix of Tolkien and Alien and Star Wars and mechs, flying radioactive monster skulls and things that look like they're straight out of Destiny, which is not usually a good thing. There's like this part of a level called The Hive. It's a boss fight, and it just looks like bad guys for Destiny. So I don't know if that's good or bad, but I liked it anyway. Game looks primitive for a PS4 game. I think it looks like a PS3 game, just like Chronos before it looked like a PS2. This looks like PS3, and it's fine. The graphics aren't a big deal, but I just wanted to point that out. Okay, I just needed to. You got all sorts of other options. There's multiplayer modes as well. I don't really care about that, but if you want to play it with a friend or two, I think you can do that. I'm not sure how many. Like I say, I didn't involve myself with it. There is DLC that I didn't buy because it was too expensive. Not buying it if it's expensive, because I'll finish the game and I want to move on to the next one. If it comes down to like a couple of quid in the future, I might pick it up and then review it. Same goes for the second game. I don't think I'm going to get through the second game before Crimson Desert comes out. So, never mind. I will try my level best. But right now we're talking about the first game. And whether I think you should play it or not. Well, I'm not a big Souls fan, right? I tend to veer away from those types of games because I find them too hard for my liking, and I get really angry and I just want to smash the whole room up. So instead of doing that, I'll buy them, put them on a shelf and look at them for about 4 years and go trade that in, maybe buy something I actually want. This game's good fun. Like I say, it's not too hard. Gunfire Games did a nice update from Chronos, I think. But yeah, it's up to yourselves. If you really want to take the chance, you'll probably pick this up for peanuts. I do actually recommend this one. I didn't recommend Chronos unless you're like, you must know the backstory to this game, because that's what it is. It's just a lore filler with a really mediocre action adventure game surrounding it. But this one's actually fun. And I enjoyed the grind. I enjoyed upgrading things. Upgrade your armour, upgrade your guns, upgrade everything. Buy you get modifications for your guns. There's the swarm one that I highly recommend you pick up. It sends out like a swarm of like radioactive cloud bee things. That's what it looks like to me. And that'll just damage the enemy over time. Make sure you're looking at all your traits. You'll get traits and you put points in. You'll only start with like 4. And then you get about 1,200 by the end of the game. And I'm like, what the fuck do I pick here? Sometimes that can be a bit of a detriment to the game, having too much choice. So what do I pick? What do I pick? What do I pick? What do I pick? Well, you're just going to have to try and see and fumble around, maybe restart a couple of times and see what works best for yourself. I will say though, out of all the bosses, I think the last boss is probably the easiest, or one of the easiest bosses. That's bizarre, I think, when you get a game like that. You'll get some of the earlier bosses and they'll just kick your arse up and down the place for ages. I think it took me 2 goes to kill the last boss. I was like, what? Okay. I wasn't too sad about it, because then I got to move on to the next game, which I'm currently working my way through. Yeah, I like this. This game's good. It's good fun. It's got a really nice atmosphere to it. It's not too difficult, and I think you should probably give it a go if you're semi-interested in the Soul genre. Even if you want to just dip your toe in a wee bit and go, is this for me? Do I like this? Is this tickling my fancy? And if it doesn't, you can always get rid of it, or like go, well, I paid £2 for that. Love all taking chances. Listen, life is a chance. Everything we do in life is taking a chance. Take a chance on this. Alright, I'll see you in the next one. Get up, yeah.